get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it. Big Snoop Dogg. It's in the game.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the New England Patriots. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You don't want none? Hey, switch gears, switch gears. 36, 36. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 39, Darnold. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab.
Let's go.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Mike 20, Mike 10.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Again, Darnold. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 29-yard line.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All right, T. Let's check. All right, T.
On 1st down, Bell. Dante Hightower on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no. Red 80.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
That's complete. It's Bell. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready? Yeah, ready? Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
13 yards. First down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Jenkins able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Used to have a coach who used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Showing up. Check. Crunch. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the counter, here's Bell. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Ready?
Hey, check Mike 57.
Ready?
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellet.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Unwassor. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now on 2nd and 13. Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw is Darnold. Caught here by Bell. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down. The Jets were 26th in rushing in the NFL last year. That's a big reason they went and signed Bell back on March 13th. And plays like that give them optimism that they can move up the pecking order in the NFL rushing ranks. Bell running on first down, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Darnold completes it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Darnold. Caught here by Griffin. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
They're running it. Hey, watch it, watch it.
Check 50, check 50. Check.
Now Bell.
Go, run.
And And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And Brown's got it! Touchdown, Jets! Daniel Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Newton. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir, and it's a touchdown for the Jets.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, Mark.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Avery Williamson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Third and long, it's Newton. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The shotgun snap for Newton. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, First half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Darnold now to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Devin McCourty picks it off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. This is White on the screen. 20! That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, here's Newton. As a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got, and oh, it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block the field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Ready?
That's what I do.
On first down, it's Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. With James White, you know that he can catch the football. He was 3rd in the NFL amongst running backs last year with 87 catches. And as we've seen, sometimes they come in bunches. Super Bowl 51, he had 14 grabs, including the winning score. Last year in the divisional round versus the Chargers, 15 receptions for White. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on fourth down. And Newton's going to keep it. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. After the run, Newton going to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. He was looking for Edelman there. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Open
man, Tanner Gabriel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
And this is caught at the 8. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jets will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go.
First down, here's White. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
Here we go.
Now on second and 16. Newton. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action. It's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Watch the edge.
On 2nd down now, it's Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Mike, we're outside. Mike 20. It's a party now.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
54. No chance.
Back to throw, Newton. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and abundant. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 13, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Edelman was the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
Again, it's Bell. And an alley to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Switch. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Rip left. Lock.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down. It's Bell, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Throw left side complete. That's Bell. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Set the tone, defense.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Taylor Gabriel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Get that quarterback and all.
They start the drive with White, and an alley to run. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. This will be a jet sweep to Crowder. And he's got some space here. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards that time.
and goal at the 3-yard line.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He's going to get it running right. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
The kick by Maher is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Here's Bell. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
It's a gain of 23 yards. That's good for Jets. First down.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
All day, baby, all day. Pick the edge. Go, go. Lady.
Ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey. Watch the ship. Watch the
Red 80.
Check the backer.
They'll run it with Bell. 7 yards there and a first down.
A 7-yard gain. And the Jets, first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Bell, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jets, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for New England, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.